Hello and welcome to another video for myatmm.com. It's time to look for some transactions to track or some new positions to get into. So let's get right to it. Okay, here we are on thinkorswim's trading platform. We're logged into our paper trading account. We're running the continuous wheel strategy on BITO here. And it looks like we have acquired another 100 shares. The ticker just keeps on going down in value, so we are accumulating some shares of BITO here while we're running this, collecting premiums on both sides with covered calls and cash secured puts. So let's go over to the account statement so we can kind of review what happened over the past week or so. All right, so this assignment up here, that looks like that's from last week, so we don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and clear that filter out, and also let's change this to just show the last 7 days. So yeah, I think that might be good enough. We'll check the balance compared to what's on the website to make sure. But yeah, so it looks like we sold the cash secured put last so the 29th, I guess that should be last Monday, which it is. Yep, last Monday. So we did sell that. I will tell you that I wasn't monitoring it last Monday, and the covered calls did not fire off. So I had to resubmit those the next day. So you can see right here the covered call. So let's see. This looks like the brand new one executed there, and then the one that we rolled, the covered calls that we rolled for the other three contracts is right there. So I did have to, I think, go down on the premium that I was looking for, because as you can see, that I only collected 17 cents. Let's look at the order history so we can see what it started out at. And I thought I had deleted that. Apparently it just didn't take. Okay. So there is the order submitted for the cash secured put, which that one did fill. So that's the trade history. Let's go here. Okay. So this is the one I believe filled. And just looking here, yeah, it looks like right there it filled. So, we'd submitted it for $1.68 and we only got $1.22. Wait a second, no, this is on the 28th. Am I missing something? Let me look at this in more detail. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I got confused for a second. So the top is where we submitted the order. That makes a lot more sense. So we submitted the order for a $1.22 limit, and when it filled, we actually got filled at $1.68. So about, what is that, 40 cents, 46 cents more we got filled for, so that's cool. But like I said, the covered calls did not execute that day, and I didn't see it until the next day. So that's where these two got canceled, or sorry, expired. And here's the other ones where I was trying to get them to fill, and they ended up expired and then canceled. And then I submitted these, and these did fill, which you can see down here. So I had submitted them for 13 and 17 cents. One got filled at 17, the other one got filled up here. Oh, there's the roll, the 19 and 2. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we need to go over to the web application and track these. And also you can see from the cash secured put that we sold, it went below the strike price of $27.50. So we did get assigned on those. So we need to track that transaction as well. So let's go over to the web application right now and do that. Here we are in the web application, myatmm.com. We just got logged in, so it went to the dashboard first. We need to go over to the cost basis screen. And we also need to get the thinkorswim account statement up on the screen so we can refer to it easily. So there that is. Okay, first thing we need to do is just start at the top and start tracking these transactions. Oh, one thing I did want to go do first before I got started, I wanted to check the account balance on this. So go back to the dashboard and compare the brokerage to this balance. So 89,662.28. So yeah, so that matches exactly. So we're starting from a good point. We're balanced right now. So let's go ahead and track the transactions. We need to select the stock ticker we're dealing with. We're only dealing with BITO in this account, so that's the only one that's there to select from. And the first transaction was that cash secured put. So we need to create a new position. The start date was the 29th. And it's a sell to open. It's a put. Did one contract. The expiration is May 3rd, this past Friday. The strike price we did that at is $1.68. Wait, sorry, strike price, that was the premium. Strike price is $27.50. The premium was $1.68. So there we go, click save. And that added it to the puts collection right here, or the puts group here. It added the proposed transaction. Again, this is just a temporary work area. And so for 65 cents and 2 cents in fees, then click this down arrow and that adds it there and calculates the credit minus the commission and fees. Click save. That adds it to the permanent transaction history, which will also adjust these numbers up here for the overall summary. All right, now let's go to the next transaction. So this is the covered call. And you'll notice that we did have 2 and 1, and we rolled those into a third one. Rolled it into a single transaction. So I might go ahead and just combine those for right now. So this is the brand new one, the one highlighted on Thinkorswim. So let's go ahead and add that one first. And again, so the start date was on the 30th because I accidentally wasn't watching it. It's a sell to open, it's a call, and it's one contract. From right here you can see sold -1. That indicates we sold one contract. The expiration is May 17th. So that's out there. Strike price $30.50, and the premium we collected was 17 cents. So we got that saved. All right, so now you can total up these contracts. We have a total of 4 contracts represented here. But let's not get off topic here. The transaction I just added, or the position I just added, we need to make sure we save that to the final transaction history. So I believe that's this one right here, the 30.50, 17, yep, 65 cents, and the fees is 2 cents. Move that down, add that to the permanent transaction history. All right, so this next one is where we took these pre-existing 2 + 1, that's 3 contracts that we had of the covered calls, and we rolled those over into a new position. So what I would normally do is possibly just do a roll, but something else you can do, since we just kind of combine these and we know what the total numbers are because of the Thinkorswim totals them up and puts them into one transaction real nicely for us. So what we can do is, instead of rolling these, what you can do is just create a new position and use the dates from here. So April 30th, a sell to open, and it was a covered call, and this is for 3 contracts. The expiration is going to be not that, May 17th. The strike was 30.50, and also you can tell from the roll, we were rolling it down from 31 to 30.50, and that's, you can also see that right here. See how these are 31s right here, 31, and we rolled them down to a 30.50. The price that we got for that was 17 cents. So we got a total of $51. So I'm going to go ahead and click save, and you'll notice that it added it down here as a 4th transaction because it doesn't know that this was actually a roll. But since we have this represented now, what we can do is we can actually just delete these positions because they're no longer relevant because we rolled it over into this new transaction. And we do need to go ahead and click save on this one so we can get the proposed transaction. And actually, it was already there. But in any case, the commission for that, you can see right here, was $3.90. So we need to go ahead and adjust that. $3.90, and the fees was 5 cents. If we go ahead and move that down, then we can get our new total here, which is 51 minus the $3.90 minus 5 cents, and then save that. So now that's added to the permanent transaction history. So there, we got a cleaned up list here of our covered calls, the consolidated roll of the 3 contracts plus the new one represented right here in Thinkorswim. So now that is all represented nicely, and we got that list cleaned up. And you can also see, so here is the 400 shares that we own, but the cash secured put right here did get assigned. So let me just go back over here real quick just to re-verify. Yeah, we did get into the the 500 shares that we now own. So this only shows the 400. So right here, the cash secured put, it got assigned, and you can see that in this transaction right here in Thinkorswim. So we need to say this was assigned. The assignment date back on here, you can see is May 4th. So change that to that. Assignment type is stocks. It's 100 shares. The assignment price is the same as the strike up there, so $27.50. So you got $2,750, which you can also see over in Thinkorswim is exactly the same amount. So we click submit here. It's going to add another record up here for the stocks. Now this cash secured put is no longer needed, and we have this new position. We need to click save here to add the proposed transaction down here for $27.50. As you can see on Thinkorswim, there's no miscellaneous fees, no commissions, so this is accurate. So we just need to click the down hand button, click save to retain that to the permanent transaction history, and then we're done with this. So now we have the updated summary with our 500 shares, and so you can see we've been acquiring this stock at 32, 31.50, 29, 28.50, 27.50, and all the while this has been pulling the dollar, the overall cost basis down for us. So now you can see our overall cost basis is 29.70 that we're in to this stock for, and you can see the last price is 25.22. You can see what our cost base is, including all the premiums that we've collected, is $27.76. So we're still technically, overall net loss right now, but it's unrealized. We can hold on to this ticker indefinitely while we're collecting dividends, while we're selling covered calls on it, and continuing to play both sides to collect more and more premium on this. I mean, it can't go lower than zero, and chances are high it's not going to go to zero, especially if you're running this on an ETF. Granted, I get that BITO, the ETF is a single asset under the hood. It's not like it's a normal ETF with multiple stocks, but in any case, very doubtful BITO or Bitcoin's going to go to zero. All right, so let's see. We got the 500 shares now. These covered calls don't expire to the 17th. Something to make note of is, since our cost basis is $29.70, we could roll these down to $30 now, because that'd be the next step down, and we would definitely want to go ahead and do that. So that's probably what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and roll those down, just like we did last week, rolling them from 31 to 30.50. We're going to roll these down to 30, and we're also going to look for one more covered call contract, because now we own 500, so we can add another covered call contract, and we'll run them all at $30 a share, and we will look for another cash secured put to get into. It's trading at 25, so we'll look to get into a cash secured put at $25. So let's jump back over to Thinkorswim right now and look for those transactions. All right, here we are back on Thinkorswim's trading platform. Let's go ahead and get the cost basis up on the screen so we can have that to refer to. There we go. All right, we need to jump over to the Analyze tab, and we need to make sure BITO is in the filter here for our selection. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and take our current position, which is that the 3 contracts that we have on the covered calls, and you can see it's a position here, but you can't see it on the board because the strike's not showing. So we need to, I don't think 14 is going to be enough. Actually, let's go ahead and collapse all these. All right, expand that back. Yep, 29, still not showing to 30 that we need it to show. So let's go ahead and just show all. All right, so there we go. There's our current position at 30.50. And as you can see on the cost basis, we're down to 29.70. So we can roll this down to 30. Depending on how much premium we collect, we may stick with the same week, or we may roll it out to a further week. So what you do is you left click on here, and actually it might not be, yeah, here we go. Yeah, right click on the position right here, create a rolling order, and then left click that, and it brings it up right here for us. Let's go ahead and collapse that. We don't need that. And we did not want to do that. That's not what we wanted. All right, we'll just deal with that, whatever. So what it did by default is it did roll it out a week at the same strike price, and it looks like we can collect a 9 cents credit by doing that. But what we want to do is we want to roll this down to $30 because our cost basis, like you can see on the screen, is $29.70, so we can safely sell it for $30. And we actually will still come out with a capital gain. If it does do that, we'll come out with a capital gain of 30 cents per share. Not a goal, but that's just a side effect of this. All right. By doing that, by rolling it out a week, we are collecting 12 cents in premium. Not a lot, but it is what it is. Let's look at something real quick. So rolling it out to the 24th is 19 days out. Just curious, want to see what I can get for another week. So let's push this out to the 31st. So it's going to go from 12 cents to what? Look at that. It jumped up significantly. I mean, that's more than twice. It was 12 cents, so double that would be 24 cents, and this is 26 cents. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. 31. I want to go out another week just to see if it slows down. All right, so here we go. Let's see what this is. See, it just went up a little bit. So we don't want to do that. We just want to come back to here. Because, I mean, if you can get double the premium just by going out another week, I mean, why not? That sounds like a pretty good thing. Now, obviously, the reason why you don't want to go out way too far is because if BITO does start creeping back up in price, then you kind of are missing out because you could have sold a cover call when it's closer to $30 for a lot more than just 26 cents. So I try to stay at 30 days or under when I'm selling these. If it gets out too far for me to collect premium, I'll actually just sit on the stock and not sell it, not write a cover call at all. So May 31st is just 26 days out. So that's like the limit. I wouldn't go out further than that, unless if it was a significant amount of premium. That would be the only reason I would do that. But it only went up like 9 cents, I think, when I did that. Anyway, we're going to stick with this. We're rolling it out 2 weeks, rolling it down 50 cents. And the funny thing is if for some reason it goes lower than 25, which is where we're going to put the cash secure put at, it'll pull our dollar cost down even lower than 30, and we can always just roll it lower. All right. So 4 contracts, and we'll make a note that you'll actually see that when I do this. All right, so we're going to click confirm and send. And yep, we want to send that. All right, so you can see this sell right here, this May 31st, that's the new position right there. And as we said before, we have another 100 shares that we own, so we can write one more covered call. So we want to basically just find that right here. This is the easiest way to do it. You can find what you're currently rolling it out to in that new position. And we can left click here once. And it didn't come up. Oh, it's right there. That's why. Okay. Let's just close those out. Okay, so let's do that again. If you left click on the bid right here, and again, this is for the $30 strike. We're writing another covered call for that additional 100 shares that we own. So we left click there. We want to increase it because the midpoint between the bid and ask is 2 pennies higher. So go ahead and increase that, and 1 contract's what we want to run it for. Then you right click right here on that row, left click on confirm and send it off, and there we go. And you can actually left click this and see those 2 orders that you placed. So right here you can see we're rolling the 4 contracts that we already own, and then we're creating a new covered call contract right there. And those orders are queued and won't try and execute till tomorrow morning when the market opens. All right. Last thing we need to do is we need to look for that cash secured put position, because again, we like to play both sides. And let's take this down to 4 because we're not going to need to look at all these strikes. We only need to look at the at the money strikes. So 4 is plenty for that. And we again want to look at the next upcoming Friday to maximize the amount of premium we're collecting. So you can see right now to run it at 25. Yeah, hold on a second. So it's 25.22. It must be after hours. Must have changed that number. I'm just looking at here. So yeah, so it's not this 51. Okay, let's come right here to the next week out, see what the prices do. So it jumped up a little bit, not too much. Yeah, see, it's just steady, slowly. So this is definitely the lion's share right here. Interesting that it's saying 25.50. I'm pretty sure it's because of after hours. Let's go over to the chart real quick. So right here, let's look at this. 25.50 is right there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, it may just be a fluke. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. It'll adjust when the market opens come Monday. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and run it at 25.50. And I mean, if it's around there, it'll execute for that price or more if it's lower. So we'll still be safe. I mean, to own another 100 shares at 25.50, considering our cost basis is in 29.70, I mean that would pull it down significantly. So I'm okay with doing that. All right, so we're going to left click here, and again the mark is 81.50, the midpoint between the bid and ask. So we want to bump that up to 81. All right, and we want to right click and then left click confirm and send that off. So there we go. We have our orders queued for tomorrow morning, and we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully I'll pay more attention to it tomorrow so I can make sure the covered calls and the cash secured puts all execute. And we do need to jump back over to the web application because I want to check our account balances to make sure that we're still matching up. So right here we need to make sure that that number matches. So let's do that right now. All right, here we are on the web application. Let's get Thinkorswim's account statement up on the screen so we can see it. So there we go. And as you can see, it's 87,142. Let's jump over to the dashboard real quick. All right, so 87,142.99. Yep, so we match exactly again. So we are completely reconciled. Awesome. Another thing I like to do is just jump over to the premiums tab so we can see how we did for the month of April. So for the month of April, it looks like we collected $967.74 in premium. So not too bad. We're jumping into May, still running this strategy on BITO, so we'll see how May plays out. I want to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and go out today to myatmm.com and get your free account so you can start tracking your own transactions. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.